Hey, all you cap and traders, Texans cap here. Have a interesting one for you tonight. Kind of wanted to do a play review from the Houston Texans. I got a couple plays I wanted to look at from their victory over the New England Patriots. It's a run scheme that we really haven't seen too much of out of the Houston Texans. We saw it a few times in 2023, and really, honestly, I haven't really seen it too much this year, and it was really prevalent in the New England Patriots game because they ran it twice and had a ton of success on those two plays. So, welcome into the Cap and Trade Show. Let's get into it. Okay, so the play that I want to kind of discuss tonight is it's a version of the trap play. I posted on X today that it was fun to watch the team run some trap plays and have success with it. Turns out it's more of a wham technique than a trap technique, which is just a slight variation. A trap technique is more so pulling with a guard, and the wham is more you're using the play side tight end. So what we're going to do is we'll just throw up a diagram, and we'll go through a couple plays and kind of just look at how it works. So I'm going to jump over to the screen share here, and let's see here. So the play is, let me get this centered up for you. So we're going to call the inside wham technique, and this is the play that the team ran twice. They scored a touchdown off of it with Mixon, and the other one was a 59-yard rush, down the sideline. So the wham technique is really set to try to throw the defensive off of their attack angles. It's supposed to, it gives the defensive tackle a free release to feel like they have a free shot at the player, and which they're literally sidebinded, sideswiped by the incoming defensive tight end, and then it allows the guard to get to the second level quickly to wall off that linebacker. So it really will create good aggressive running angles for the running back, and it destroys the gap, and it destroys the attack lanes for the defensive lineman. So we'll kind of zoom in here a little bit. And what we're looking here is, so we got Diggs as the Y on this play, on both plays. Dell's over here as the X. Let me turn on my mouse. So Diggs is the Y, Stover's the F. And we've got Schultz at the tight end, and then Dell over here at the X, Mixon at the running back. So they're in essentially 21 personnel, essentially 21 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. And you'll see when we watch the film, you'll see that Stover will kind of motion over, kind of take a 2-side step and then release to the defensive tackle who's got a free release into the backfield. Kenyon Green is going to either combo block the defensive end with Tunsil, or he's going to work to the second level for that linebacker. It really depends on what he sees with Tunsil, and if Tunsil has his defensive end turned out to the edge, or if he's getting more on the inside shoulder of Tunsil, then we'll see Kenyon Green help Tunsil before he moves up to the second level. So everybody else is essentially man up. Juice Scruggs will also release to the second level to go for the other linebacker. And in this particular set, New England has 5 defensive linemen. They kind of ran that all day. Sometimes they'd line up as a bare front with a zero technique, and this time it was more of an under front with a defensive tackle shaded to the strong side. So here we got straight inside handoff, play side, Stover, inside pull to wham this defensive tack. So wham, it's a trap, right? So we'll get rid of this here and look at a couple of plays. So this one is in the second quarter. I'll get this resized for you. Move this out of the way. All right, so Now remember what we talked about. Stover is going to motion over and hit this defensive tackle. Tunsil is going to wall off his guy. Green can either wall off here or work up to the second level, depending on what he sees here. Schultz, wall. Diggs going to get up here, and Diggs does an outstanding job on both plays. We're going to see Scruggs move up to the second level. Mason take this defensive end. Tunsil taking this outside linebacker / safety, which is going to give Mixon the aggressive running lane out here. So me erase all this. We'll watch the play through, and then we'll rewind it and kind of go through slow motion and watch how each blocker works through their progression. So big burst from Mixon. Going to get to that boundary. Excellent job. So now we'll kind of go through it step by step. So the first move is Stroud motion alert to Stover. Stover is going to slide over. Now you see he's already got his eyes open on the defensive tackle. Scruggs is already going to the second level. Now really we have here Diggs. Now really Kenyon Green's got his decision whether does he combo with Tunsil or does he go to the second level. And because Tunsil has got his inside shoulder and pushing this defensive end, he's already knows. See, he can't even get it. Kenyon Green can't even get it a hand on the defensive lineman. So he already knows that I can go up here to the second level quickly. So you see Green gets to the second level quickly, walls off his guy. Tunsil crashes his defensive end into the outside linebacker, creating this wonderful lane that Mixon is going to burst through. Mixon gets skinny there. I really like it. He takes a step there. All right, so we'll watch it one more time through. Stover's going to wham that defensive tackle. Green get to the second level. Beautifully done. Now, later in the game, this was in the second quarter. Now, if we jump up to the third quarter, this is going to be the Mixon touchdown. So it's going to be a similar deal here, but the biggest difference is going to be you're going to see Tunsil just can't quite get his guy turned away outside, so Green's going to come over and help. And what works out good is they end up driving this defensive end, into this linebacker who gets washed out. And we're going to see Stover take his same move, go inside. Scruggs, second level. Green, Tunsil combo this defensive end. Schultz. Now watch Diggs here for sure. He is going to have a fantastic block here. Now, this play was phenomenal just on the fact that Mixon has this vision to make a second cut while he's in the air, putting a hand off of Tunsil and hits the ground and bounces out. I mean, it's just fantastic vision. So we'll watch it run through and then we'll come back and go through it step by step. Wham. There's the big cut. Gets outside. Diggs was blocking the edge. Touchdown. So we'll go through it play by play. Here's, like we talked about, Stover, inside. Now you're seeing, here's the combo block. Double team with Green and Tunsil. And because he's not able to wall off, he's going to stay there to the edge. Now, Schultz is doing an excellent job here on the outside. So really, Mixon's got two approaches here. I can either try to get skinny or get skinny. But because this linebacker is shaded towards the inside where Mixon's looking, Mixon is going to go outbound and then cut. So now he's really doing a good job because he's kind of staying hidden behind. And I don't know why I was saying Tunsil. I'm sorry. This was Blake Fisher. I forgot Tunsil came out of the game there. So he gets that arm off of there, big cut outside, right behind Fisher. It's fun to watch. Now I want to show you just a 2023, and now you see how well that is blocked, right? This was in 2023. A similar type of play, this time with Brevin Jordan. A little bit different here because the linebacker is in the middle of the formation. So Mason's got to actually go around this defensive tackle to allow the free release. Brevin Jordan's going to come over and wham him, and Pierce is going to take a direct line with Fant here. Patterson goes up to the second level. Kendrick Green. Comes a wham. Watch Brevin Jordan meet him head up. Wham. And that was a pretty good block. I mean, it was a good play. And then one more. This was with Singletary. And this one wasn't quite as clean. This is a little more traditional wham look here. I'm not going to break this one down as much, but you'll see it. But this one was a little uglier because Green was pulling across the formation and kind of trips. It kind of trips over Schultz coming in for the wham, and they kind of get lost with each other there. So he whams DeForest Buckner, and then you see Green and Mason are just kind of getting mixed up with Patterson going up to the second level. So it's a good running lane for Singletary, and then he has good cutback. So, I mean, it's still a successful play. I mean, that's still a good run play, but just not as clean as what we saw with Mixon. And so really what this comes from, oh, man, come here. This is some Harbaugh language, old stuff. And that first play is this one here. All right. We saw this move inside. Left guard getting to the second level. Center getting to the second level. Pulling F tight end to the interior tackle. That's essentially what this is. So it's called blast. That's Harbaugh language of wham. So that's really kind of where this emanates from. And it's because he's on a under technique here, so that's why they're money slip under. So it's a fun play. It takes a while for it to develop It can take some effort, and it can really kind of confuse offensive linemen and their schemes and how that works. So it's a tricky play to execute, but when it's executed right, it's very beautiful to watch. I love trap plays. I love those wham plays. They're kind of one and the same, just a little bit different, like I talk about with the wham. It's more of a play side, tight end, and then if it's trap technique, then it's more of a backside guard coming across the formation. So different variations, but Houston executed it well, and that is really just what I want to talk about tonight. So we saw 2 plays from Mixon, right? We saw the play diagram in the beginning of how the wham version, that wham inside wham technique works. And then we looked at 2 videos from the New England game with Mixon, 59-yard rush, and then the 21-yard rushing touchdown. Then we looked at 2 plays from 2023. So it's exciting, and I hope they don't overuse it because it can get really messy really quick, but it is good to see them executing it well, because some of the other blocking techniques that we're seeing, especially on the outside zone and things like that, still need a little cleanup work, but good to see Houston getting some plays out there. So until next time, we will see you. Make sure you are subscribing. Forgot we're on this way. Subscribe to the newsletter, capandtrade.football. And with that, everybody have a good night.